What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Show. Today we're looking at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventure Slash. So this is from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventure series, as you can see the logo down here, which was a comic book series made by Archie comics. So we have a comic inspired turtle. This is our first one getting from the Adventure series line, and it is of Slash, and he just looks really cool. The figure itself looks awesome. I love the design of him. It's like the perfect Slash design for me, and overall looks really cool. Love the box art design, so it's got like that Archie comic artwork design, and just looks really cool all around the side. You can see Slash there with his little palm tree, and then on the back we have the pictures of the figure itself, and then more figures that are coming a part of the Adventure series. So it just looks really cool. This is just an awesome looking figure, and I've heard a lot of good things about this. So let me go and get him open out of the box, and we'll take a look at him together. So here we got Slash out of the box, and overall he's pretty cool. Nice, awesome design overall. Of course, it looks really familiar, and I'll show you the comparison later, but it is pretty much the exact same body as the cartoon version of Toka, so it's going to be that same body, size-wise, design, shell, and everything, just obviously different like head and stuff for it, but overall it looks really cool here. But as I mentioned, this is from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventure series, which was a comic book series published by Archie Comics from 1988 to 1995, and it was set in a separate reality from all the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stories, so from the cartoon and other comics and everything. But in this story, Slash was an alien anthropomorphic snapping turtle that lived in solitude in Paradise, which was filled with lush palm trees, until a race of aliens came along and destroyed all the trees, and Slash went on a rampage across the galaxy until he was in prison. And while in prison, he came across the banished Krang, and the two of them made a deal together to get back to Earth, where Slash battled with the Ninja Turtles. But while on Earth, he drew the attention and befriended the mighty Mutanimals, who let them stay on their island that was filled with lush palm trees. So he kind of got what he wished of, a nice location filled with palm trees. So he joined up with the Mutanimals, which were some of those characters that I showed you on the back of his box. And overall, he looks pretty cool. So it's just a mutated turtle, so much like the other Ninja Turtles, just obviously this figure is going to be much bigger size-wise, and he's more of an angrier, evil version. So looks pretty cool, and like I said, he does have the same body as Toka, so he'll have the same shell with all the spikes on it. So nice bright green color here compared to the darker green for the rest of the body. Of course, as the front turtle shell has the bandana around his head, so in black this time, that goes around there with his wide eyes. You can see his teeth all gritted. He's got more sharper teeth, belled around the waist with what looks to be a Z there in the center, and then some like a little crossbones, and then all like ninja stars, whatever, going around to the back with some pockets. He's got some spikes on his hands, so he's got these blades, so almost like Wolverine, but with only two blades there coming out on each hand. The elbow pads and knee pads, much like Toka had as well, and then the two spiky toes there in the front. So like the turtles have the two toes, he has two, but with claws on the end of it. So overall, he looks pretty cool, and like I said, I'll show you size-wise comparisons and comparisons to the other figures we have and stuff, but overall, I think he looks pretty cool. So movement-wise, his head can twist around. Of course, this is a NECA, and he was really bad, so we had to heat him up a lot. A lot of the NECAs we've been doing more recently are pretty much really good out of the box, just may have to heat up a joint here or there, but he was solid everywhere, so had a lot of issues with him. But his head could twist around, as you saw, and move up and down, and then his head tail does move around the who, so you can have it on either side, whichever you would prefer. The shoulders can come up a little. I assume they won't come up too far, yeah, about that far, so maybe 45 or a little bit over, and can rotate around within there. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up at least that far. Can't get too much further because of the elbow pad. The wrist can twist around, so it can twist all the way around. Have some issue with it though because of the blade, and it looks like some of the paint maybe got stuck on it from this position. And then the hands can flex back and forth, of course feel really stiff, and since they're deep down in there, you can't really get too much. And then those blades on the outside, just a lot of issues going on with the wrist, so you don't get a whole lot of movement in this, but a little back and forth. Then he's got like an ab crunch type thing up in here behind the shell, so just a little bit of crunching back and forth between the front shell and the back shell. It doesn't really allow too much, but it can twist around a little bit in there as well. The hips can come up pretty close to 90, especially go out to the side there, and then out to the side. His hips are really loose, like they just kind of flop around there, but nice and loose. And then there's a thigh twist as well. The double knee joint that, much like the elbow, isn't going to bend up too far because of that knee pad, so it gets up that far at least. And then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, it's not horrible, pretty much like all the other turtles and every turtle-like figure we've had. So it has some decent joints for what it could do, but obviously could be a little bit better as well. And then just the stiffness of the NECA joints kind of stinks, but overall he looks good and functions pretty good. Couldn't really ask for too much more, so no major issues with him at all. Now accessory wise, he has two fist hands on already. He comes with additional hands with some like claw hands, so 3 fingers there with the claws or sharp nails, whatever, on them there, so we could switch those out if we wanted. Or he comes with some grip hands, and because of the tightness of it, we went ahead and put the weapons in as well, so we get 2 sets of grip hands with 2 weapons. So we get this weapon that looks pretty cool. So it's almost like a little sword with like this hook on it blade wise. And then this one that usually he has a crisp blade, though, just like a sword that's all like wavy and stuff. But this one looks kind of weird, but has cool with the shading for the cartoon and stuff. So the blue and white and everything. So that looks pretty cool. So we can switch these hands out to give him some weapons. So there's the hands with the weapons now. And that looks pretty cool having both of those bladed weapons there. So he's got the 2 blades in his hands, as well as the little blades coming out of both sides of the hand. So he's just all kitted out to cut up and fight whatever enemy he has. And just overall looks really cool. I like the design of him and stuff. And like I said, the overall function isn't too bad, but just looks really cool. But of course, we've had Slash before, so we can bring in those other versions. So we have the arcade Turtles in Time version, and then also the cartoon version of Slash. So those two, of course, you can see there is a size difference between them. He's just a little bit bigger. I thought it'd be much more noticeable, but he is a little bit bigger. But we have those 2 versions of Slash. Again, all 3 different versions here, which is pretty cool. Then we also have Toka. So like I said, it's the exact same body wise, and if you look at it, you will see a lot of the same things, especially like their shell there in the back. So the exact same shells with the belts around the waist, and then the same like knee pad designs, and overall just main bodies. Obviously they switched out the heads and the different pads on the shoulders and stuff, but just the exact same body wise. So just wanted to show it off to show you where they got the body for this Turtles, just from the cartoon version of Toka. And finally we have just our Donatello figures, so just so you can see the height comparison between the normal Turtles and the Slash here. So we have them 2 facing off there. So pretty cool for Slash. So I like that they made him a little bit bigger with this body using that Toka body, and then just the overall design does fit like it shows on the pictures on the box and stuff, and overall is a pretty cool design just overall for this version of Slash. So let me know what you thought of this figure down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. Well, and thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.